Have you ever wondered why your goals seem to maybe stall or you start feeling a little bit unmotivated? Or perhaps you're just not making the progress you thought you'd make to your goal. You start off super strong, you were ambitious, but then something started to feel just a little bit off. It could be that the real reason that you are stuck is not really about your goals, but just whether or not you're aligned to your higher purpose. So today, that's what we're doing. We're peeling back the layers of how to uncover whether or not your goals actually align to your higher self. And I'll give you some tips on how to unlock that potential. Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another Mindful Monday. I am your host, Arika Trimnell, aka the Mindful Mistress, and I am here to offer you another unique perspective, just something that will help us grow personally, professionally, of course, spiritually, and allow us to embrace every aspect of our journey in the hopes that we get to break the prism of limitations in our life. So, let's be honest, goal setting is not easy. If we were all experts at goal setting, then so many of us would be the Michael Jordans, the Elon Musk, the Kobe Bryants. We would just be killing it in the game, right? We might be really good at jotting down what we want, but actually staying focused and committing is where most of us fall off. And that's where things get a little bit tricky because if you lack the willpower or discipline, then typically you're not going to reach your goals. Now, I being the mindful mistress, and you know that my whole thing is about taking the me out of stress, mistress, haha, get it. And coming from a trauma informed perspective, there could, this is a really multifaceted layer conversation. And if the willpower and or discipline could really be traced back. I know I hate to say it, but your childhood, of course, it all starts then. That's how we were nurtured. Right. So the truth is maybe your goals aren't aligned to your higher self, higher purpose. And so no amount of willpower, no amount of discipline, no amount of motivation, even maybe you've given yourself an incentive to get this particular goal done, or maybe the incentive to get it done, whether it's a debt paid or I don't know, something to that effect where you might feel, oh, debt's paid, weights off my shoulders. I definitely want to get this goal done. I'm going to do $250 every single month extra on the bill, and that's going to get it paid by X amount of months. And then something happens where you're not motivated. And again, I do want to have the caveat there that this could be some inner child work that needs to be addressed during it, but also, and oftentimes it's the misalignment is what we're having with the goal or end result and our higher purpose. Now, I won't get into. I'll try my best not to get into it, but there's a part of me that really wants to dive deep into the early childhood experiences and how it plays a part in whether or not we're able to obtain a goal. And maybe I'll do a small bit. I do have a video on consistency and how trauma and consistency have this very interesting dynamic depending on what consistency looked like for us when we were growing up. So, anywho, but let's explore how our goals really align with our higher self and give us a deeper meaning for life. And so, if you're thinking about your goals and it's something that's maybe very materialistic or very superficial, that could be a reason why there's this mismatch. There's a misalignment between your goals and your higher self because you are going after maybe something that will validate you externally. But the true way to validate yourself is through the internal, not through the external. And therefore there's this disconnect that you're not conscious of, and you're secretly, I guess, self-sabotaging yourself. And that's the reason why you're not getting to your goals. But to give to give you some insight or to break it down, I have talked about at the beginning, also in the last video about my decision to make myself uncomfortable, to really push myself beyond my limits of the comfort zone. And I told you in the last video how extremely uncomfortable it's been, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone to fuel my personal growth as well as my spiritual growth. And I really wanted to try new activities. I've done some new speaking gigs, there have been some new physical things that I've done. I've ventured off into new areas of work and play. And so, and going out, meeting new people and going to different events. So it's been beautiful, but like I said, it has definitely been out of my comfort zone. And so everything that comes with that, yeah, I had that. But, there was a time where I had to also assess, am I stepping up and out enough? And I noticed that, especially for some events, my enthusiasm around like, oh, yay, getting out of my comfort zone was not there. I wanted to just sit back in a nice, warm, cozy spot, love my house, love the environment I've been able to create. And again, like what I mentioned in the last video about, it's so important to have those check-ins where I realize, hey, I could be stepping up more. I could be going out of my comfort zone more because I really wanted to connect on another level with my higher purpose and it's about uncovering more of myself. That's what this beautiful journey is all about, and being able to harmonize with my higher self and deeper intentions. So to give myself the opportunity to do that is to see who is Arika in all of these different situations and how does she show up? Where does she fall short, which shows me areas that, I could work on if I choose to, or I could just say, oh no, I know that's an area I need to work on. I'm just gonna leave that over there and never do that again. Hey, it's my prerogative, it's my life. This is my truth. But like what we talked about last week, the importance and the benefits of checking in and tracking your progress. So that's what I was doing, was like, hey, maybe some things would come up and I realized I was saying no when I should have been saying yes. So that is me doing my own internal checking. So understanding, why it's important to have these check-ins and hold yourself accountable. Like, okay, am I actually doing what I set out to do? Another thing is, having that increased awareness with that check-in regularly helps you increase whether or not you are doing the aligned action to get you closer to your goal. If I'm not checking in, if I don't have that awareness, then of course I'm not going to do it. Then we talked about like the motivation aspect. So when you see yourself as you progress to that which you say you want, does it align, or does that, reignite your soul? Does that help that motivation and drive you closer or more forward? If not, then maybe again, there's that misalignment, there is that mismatch. We talked about even the decision-making progress when it comes to what is the next best right action or the next best action for you, and how that can manifest. Maybe your spirit, maybe your intuition is saying that you need to go into a different direction, or you maybe need to attack this problem a little bit differently, or being able to change your perspective to see it in a different light. So that could be a reason why you feel stuck or stagnant, or you haven't made the progress you felt like you should have made towards your goal. There could be a misalignment there. And so by having the check-in that we talked about, by being reflective, by being self-aware, it's important to help you achieve what it is you actually want, maybe not just what you said or you wrote down for your New Year's resolution. So that goes to the first part, is really understanding the why. The first step to aligning to your higher purpose is why. Why was this goal chosen? Do I still hold fast to this particular why? Is it going to create a deeper understanding of who I am, a deeper purpose? Am I going to get more connected to who I am? Am I going to live in my authentic self? Like, these are all things. This is going to help me level up my soul, Is this going to help me achieve my purpose? These are all little like why questions to really help you find the deeper meaning of that goal, or find out that that goal doesn't have a deeper meaning. It is just plainly superficial. And you know what? That's okay too. We can have those superficial goals, right? Breaking it down. Maybe we didn't break that goal down large enough, or maybe the particular milestone that we've set just seems so arduous. It seems something I can't accomplish because there's so much that needs to happen for this particular milestone. So maybe it needs to be chunked down, and we're getting a little bit overwhelmed, and so it's making us feel disconnected. Then we need to, again, it's about that checking in. It's that reassessing. Maybe I need to make this milestone into several milestones instead of this big one that I have, or breaking the steps down into smaller steps. A baby step is still a step forward. It doesn't have to be this huge, gigantic leap that we are taking towards our goal, so we can be like, hey, look at me again, right? Getting back to that why. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this for me. So no matter what that step looks like, big, small, in between, it's for you to decide what works best for you. And there might be steps where you've got some big steps, and then you've got some baby steps, and you've got some middle steps, or medium steps, if you will. It can look like that, and that's okay, because that's life. That's nature. That's how things work. So each step is a step forward. No matter how big or how small it is, you are moving in the direction. And then again, thinking about the goal, maybe the date that you have needs to also be pushed back too. So just things to think about as to why you've stopped, stalled, aren't making the progress that you are making, and making sure that you are aligned to your higher self. Now, one of the ways that I love doing this is, depending on how you set your goals, did you write them down? Did you put them in a journal, or what have you? Having different manifestations of your goals. So what I mean is, you could have it written down on a paper or in your journal. You can also accompany that with a vision board. You can also accompany that with a drawing or a painting. As many ways as you can manifest that in different representations. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's also an affirmation that you do. This really helps you take off that mask, the illusion of the ego, so that you are able to connect to your higher purpose. So this also goes, of course, back to childhood, but some of the things that gets in our way when it comes to aligning to our purpose and our goals, what we want aligned to our higher self, is the fact that we have all these labels, these identities that we have allowed people to give us, that we have internalized, that we have made for ourselves. And sometimes those labels and identities, although it's great for conversation aspects, it's great for helping some people understand maybe some of the things you've been through in your life and who you are, at the end of the day, they are also limits that we have placed on ourselves. So by giving myself a title or label, I'm also confining myself to a box, a circle, a prism, a parallelogram, whatever you want to call it, in which I live. Now, that in essence in itself creates boundaries which I'm not able to cross. And if the goal is to get bigger, if I've already put myself in a box that is let's say a 3-inch diameter circle, I want to expand to a 6-inch, that's not going to happen. So I have to start again breaking, like I talk about, the purpose of this is breaking the prisms of our limitations. So thinking about what other ways that I can connect to my higher self, break out of this box, to expand to my fullest, to really connect with my authentic self, to connect with my higher self. And maybe I'm thinking too small, 3 inches, 6 inches, maybe it's 122-inch circle that I really need to be. But here I am playing small because I've allowed all of these labels and identities to really weigh heavy on me and limit what it is I am capable of doing, what is inside me that I can uncover and then I want to uncover. So just think about it from that way. So that's why I also encourage people not just to write your goals down, put it in your reminders, make an affirmation, make a song, a rap, what have you, a vision board. Some people take parts of it and have like almost like mini vision board, like based on what they want to accomplish for that month or for that milestones. It's up to you. What works best. A quote, a symbol is really cool. A mantra. I love doing mantras. But whatever is going to help you shed those limiting beliefs and structures that are holding you back and align to the more expansive version that you are looking to cultivate. Of course, doing the regular check-in. So if you did a check-in for the first time with me last week, I encourage you to implement that and ask yourself, is this action really aligned? How am I feeling about my progress? Is this the right next step? And if it is, good. If it's not, that's great. Because then you don't have to keep repeating the same wrong next step. You can move on to something else. And of course, because we are people who live in the present moment, it's about celebrating the wins, the small wins, the big wins. It doesn't matter. Do not wait till the end where you've accomplished your goal to celebrate. By celebrating the small steps, the medium steps, and the big steps in between, it helps keep you motivated. It helps keep you aligned. Again, what it also is helping you do is we rewire your brain so that you can start, and I almost lost my train of thought. It helps you rewire your brain. So the limiting beliefs or maybe the identities or what have you that you have cultivated in childhood and throughout your life, you now can start programming them with new beliefs of expansion and of growth. So by celebrating that or finding some way to honor those steps helps keep you motivated and aligned and connected to the more expansive version or the version of you that is more connected with your authentic self. So that's why it's important to celebrate or honor it, or whether that's a ritual, whether that's a party, it's champagne, if it's, a glass of water, whatever works for you. I'm not here to tell you how you should celebrate or honor the steps in your life, but I do encourage you to do it because it works in two parts. One, it keeps you motivated and it helps with that programming or reprogramming or deprogramming process, if you will. So some tips that I like to use, especially to help keep me motivated to ensure alignment. I love putting reminders in my phone. I got so many reminders. And the best part is I love when you put when you have your Bluetooth headset in and it's time for your reminder to come in. And for mine, a lot of mine are affirmations. And it'll say like reminder, I don't know, I own this energy or whatever. That's not one of my affirmations, but just to give you an example. So I love it because it repeats it back to me in my ear. Another way to help you with this is find an accountability partner. You don't have to do this alone. I'm here, happy to reach out to me, friends and families who know, who've been through the process or know what you want to accomplish. They are great for keeping you accountable because tell me, child, how many times you have said, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and maybe, you've fallen off that goal. I thought you were eating better. Should you be eating that? Right? So the same thing, your family, your friends, your support system, your spouses, your partners, significant others, they can be really good accountability partners. Although they may not give it to you how you want to receive it, they will definitely keep you accountable. So pick and choose however you want with that. Another good way, and I kind of talked about this when I talk about reminders, is creating those positive affirmations that reinforce the change or reinforce a thought pattern or the narrative for your commitment to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You are committing, you're making a promise to yourself of what it is that you want to see out of this phase of your life. As always, incorporating mindfulness. I cannot stress this enough, but activities that really help you build that pause are so imperative because when you have that, the child, the inner child in you who is still remembering who you were when you were 5 years old and your world was filled with chaos and consistency was a negative thing in your life, by building in mindfulness, you're able to create a separation. So then you can start loving on that child. And first of all, letting that child know that you are a grown adult now and you have more autonomy over your life, and things are things that are constant, are not chaos, and they're not negative. And so you can put a whole lot of loving on that child. But mindfulness helps you build that space and that time, and really creates that container for you to do this without incorporating a mindfulness practice or some sort of routine that helps you build that space. Then all you're doing is reacting to the triggers in your life that are just going to keep you in that cycle of where you're that 5-year-old. And oh my God, we have been at the gym now every day, for the past 5 weeks. And it is really uncomfortable because, again, consistency in my life has been a negative thing for me growing up. And so this only means that this is going to be a negative thing as well, right? I told you I was going to work that childhood stuff in here. But that is why I stress mindfulness, and I could go on about that. But anyways, another thing is too, which is basically what we've been doing, is tracking your progress, having it in a journal, putting it on a spreadsheet if you're a spreadsheet person. Track your progress of your achievements. And I would also say track your progress of what you're learning about yourself, the lessons you've learned along the way, because it helps you gain more self-awareness and self-mastery. So really being able to stay aligned with your goals is not just about checking things off like, yes, I've got this task done. It's really about ensuring that you are in harmony with your higher self and your authentic purpose. So when your goals really reflect who you are, a deeper meaning deep down in the core, then every step forward is you reconnecting with yourself. It's your spiritual journey. It's you coming home to yourself. And that is the most beautiful gift that you can ever give yourself. And it's a gift that nobody can take away. It is not like anything external. It's that internal validation which you are giving yourself. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. If you have not experienced it in any way, shape, or form, there are no words that I could use that truly depict or encapsulate what it can be like. So, to bring this full circle, the reason why you're stuck may be not what you think. It really couldn't. It really could be the fact that you're just misaligned. It's not about the working harder. It's not about you lack the discipline. It's really about aligning with that higher purpose. The journey isn't about just reaching some goal just to reach the goal or the finish line. Every step should be a finish line in itself. It's about growing. It's about evolving. It's understanding yourself and that mastery, which it is a constant progress. It is a struggle. It's something that I struggle with in my life. I have situations where I'm like, but I am grateful afterwards for the lessons that I have learned, for the connection that I have with my higher self, and the fact that I now know myself more than I have ever, ever, ever known myself. And that is a beautiful gift I've given myself and continue to give myself. And with that, I'm able to connect with people more deeply, fully. I'm able to enjoy very meaningful relationships and connections because I know myself, which allows me the space and time, the patience, the grace to get to know and love you as well. Thank you so much for joining me on another Mindful Monday. Have an amazing week. Know I love you and I'm here for you if there's anything you need. Bye.